Hey Gemini, welcome to your weekly forecast for January 17th through the 23rd. This is going to be for Gemini Sun, Moon, and Rising. I am setting the intention for January 17th through 23. However, you might come across this reading at another time, and that's completely fine. You're going to find it whenever you're meant to hear the messages that are in it. So we're going to see what's coming up here. For the Gemini collective, keep in mind this is a general reading. Not every single aspect will resonate, but take what does and leave what doesn't. This is going to be for Gemini Sun, Moon, and Rising. So without further ado, my dear Geminis, one more shuffle here. Let's get right on into it. Keep in mind we do have the full moon in Cancer on the 17th, and the full moon energy, usually we might start feeling it 3 days before and up through 3 days after. However, sometimes it can be much sooner, and it can linger a lot longer depending on how sensitive we are to moon energy and how that particular moon it might be affecting our personal placements. But we're going to see what's coming up here. First card for Gemini is the Five of Swords. So Gemini, okay, this card has a couple of different meanings, and it comes up in kind of a specific way for me sometimes in readings when we're dealing with a situation where we're getting triggered or we're being triggered. And I've always said that when that happens, it's best to step away and kind of try to write it out, like journal it out, like what happened, who was involved, what did they say, what did they do, how did it, make me feel, who else in my life before, as far back as you can remember, has made you feel that way before. Why do you think they did this? Why do you think they're trying to get you to feel this way? And you can go ahead and write out a release, forgive this person, let them go, forgive yourself for anything you want to forgive yourself for, and then write out how you're choosing to feel about the situation from now on moving forward. If you take the time to do this, it's going to deactivate that trigger. So if you're dealing with someone who's triggering you on purpose, like they know where your buttons are and they're deliberately pushing your buttons, the next time they can push and push and push all they want. It's not going to have any effect on you because you've deactivated that trigger. So the fact that the Five of Swords is coming up as your first card is telling me, Gemini, that in this full moon energy, a lot of you are going to be releasing old feelings or old wounds that have been kind of touchy for you, that you get set off because of them, or you've got triggers connected to them. You're releasing them, and so those triggers are going to be gone. There's going to be certain things that have been bugging you that aren't going to bug you anymore. Maybe it's a very, very, very silly example, but I'll give the example of like Back to the Future, right? Where he had this thing where if anybody called him a chicken, like he couldn't back down because of like when he was younger, right? So if somebody calls you a chicken and you just can't back down, oh, they called me a chicken, now I can't back down, that's going to be released. They can call you chicken all day, every day, and you're just going to like, okay, whatever, like you're the one who looks stupid, but it's not going to bother you. It's not going to bother you at all. So I feel like there's a release of things that have been triggering you. Now, also, keep in mind, the full moon is a time of releasing, and even if you don't know how to do releases, you will release naturally, okay? And Five of Swords can come up when there's a situation having to do with the burning of bridges. So for some of you Geminis, I feel like you are the one that you may be deciding to burn some bridges here in the coming week, or something can happen where somebody is triggering you and you're just saying, you know what, this person is doing this on purpose, and I'm not going to hold space in my life anymore for people who are petty like this, or people who are intentionally trying to hurt my feelings. And you may be cutting that person off, and you may be burning that bridge. I do feel, Gemini, that for some of you, you had a person or situation. This could be a job situation, it could be a relationship, it could be a family situation, a living arrangement, where someone kind of like try to scare you or push you into doing something. And it's going to backfire on them. It's going to have the opposite effect. Like you're calling somebody's bluff. I feel that here, Gemini, that some of you are calling somebody's bluff. Like, oh, okay, all right, you know, if that's how it's going to be, I guess I'll get up and go now. Like maybe they gave you an ultimatum, or they were really complaining about you and they were making it like you're not doing enough. And when they find that you're just kind of like not being scared or intimidated by that, and you're like, oh, okay, well then I guess we'll part ways, they're like, wait a minute, no, what do you mean? What do you mean? No. And so I do feel some of you have this kind of situation where somebody kind of tried to like turn the screws, so to speak, with you, and it backfired on them. And you may be deciding, I'm tired of this. Like, I don't want to play games like this, right? So some of you may be cutting somebody off or burning a bridge. The next card coming up here for you guys is the Ten of Wands. And I have to chuckle because it's really confirming the energy that I'm feeling. Now, the Ten of Wands can be completion of a project, okay? Somebody once commented on one of my videos that the Ten of Wands for them is check your work and like complete it. Like check your work and complete your work. And there can be that aspect of it, okay? Ten of Wands can be completing a project, finishing something up, being done with something. But the Ten of Wands can also come up when we're being burdened by a situation. Like there's a lot on our back and we don't want to carry it anymore. It's too much. It's not worth it. So I'm telling you, Gemini, I feel like you guys are having a really powerful release in this full moon energy where you're out of patience of anyone or anything that is bringing you down, or that is depressing you, or that is, you know, trying to make you feel less than, and you're just like, I don't want to do this anymore. But not only are you in the energy of I don't want to do this anymore, like you're just stopping, like you're like, done, I quit, I'm done, and I quit. And the people you're dealing with are shocked. They didn't see that coming. They didn't think you were just gonna up and walk away, or that you were just gonna, you know, drop something, you know, like, for them it's gonna feel very sudden and very unexpected. And they might even like be in disbelief. They might think that you're just having a bad day. Like they don't understand that you're done. And it might feel like it's coming out of nowhere. If you are a Gemini that has been really unhappy in a work situation or a living situation, but you've been trying to write it out, I'm telling you, be very, very, very diligent this week and in the coming weeks that you start to look for your next step, that you're putting applications out there, you're applying for new jobs, or you're looking for other living situations. Because what's going to end up happening, Gemini, is I feel a lot of you are coming really close to just like blowing your fuse, where you just get to the point where somebody says something and it just irks you, or you're just like, I'm done with this nonsense, and you just up and leave. Like you're the tower, Gemini. You're the tower. You're just like knocking it all down, like done, over, game over. And everybody else is like, whoa, where is this coming from? And even though it might feel very liberating, then you're going to have the stress of trying to figure out the next thing, right? You want to try to have the next thing lined up before you walk away from a situation. It's just easier that way, right? It takes the stress and the pressure off of you. So if you've been holding on to a situation like, well, I'm going to wait, maybe it's not that bad, maybe it's going to get better, Gemini, you are running out of patience. And you are about to like just go off and just like mic drop your way out of the situation. And you don't want to wait till you get to that point to then try to figure out what the next step is going to be. You start figuring out where you might live. You start looking for another living arrangement. You start, you know, applying to other jobs and try to hold on, you know, until that other thing, that other door opens. But I would say do not procrastinate and do not delay, because you don't have the patience in you. Like some of you are saying, oh gosh, I'll stay here another, 6 months. Or no, you're not going to make it to the 6 months because you're running out of patience. You're tired of it. And one more thing I'm going to say, and I'll move on to the next card. 10 of Wands sometimes comes up to tell us that we have a lot of stress on our shoulders, and that this can cause some kind of like the body getting run down and having like a health issue coming up. I need to say this, and I need to really, really, really emphasize this. I am not a medical medium, okay? I don't have the gift of doing a reading on somebody and being like, oh, there's something going on with your kidneys, or there's something going on with your left arm. Some readers have that gift. I do not have that gift. So I'm not predicting anything in terms of like illness or sickness. I can't diagnose anything. I can't confirm anything one way or another. But I know that sometimes the 10 of Wands comes up to say that the stress is affecting our body, and it could be running down the immune system. And when you're really stressed and the 10 of Wands is coming up, you might be in a situation where you're forcing yourself every single morning, forcing yourself to go to like this particular job, and the stress is eventually going to get so much to where your body just gives out on you and says, nope, I'm not getting out of bed. It might not be anything major or permanent or life-threatening, but it could be something where your body just says, nope, nope, nope. And that happened to me once. Not to talk about me too much, but just real quick. I was in a really stressful job, and I just kept saying, maybe it'll get better, or I don't want to be a quitter. I don't want them to get to me, and I'm going to toughen up. And I kept forcing myself into a really toxic atmosphere. And then all of a sudden, one morning I woke up and I couldn't walk. I was dizzy. I kept falling. I had to hold things to walk. Half my face was drooping and paralyzed. I couldn't move half my face. This was years ago. And, I was young. I was in my, early 30s. And I thought I had a stroke. I was freaking out. I went to the urgent care, and they were like, oh, we have to do tests. And they thought it was all kinds of really serious things. And finally the doctor just said, oh, you have Bell's palsy. And that just basically means that your face is paralyzed, and we don't know why, but your nerves are really messed up, and that's why you're dizzy and you can't walk, and you've just been under a lot of stress. And I couldn't go to work. I had to try to get stress leave. My body just said, we're not going anymore. We're not doing this anymore. So Gemini, this is what I'm talking about when I'm saying stress in your health and your body giving up on you. I healed. I recovered. I don't have those issues anymore, thank God. But, don't let yourself get to that point. Your health is important. And your health is more important than feeling like, oh, well, they're going to win if I leave, right? Or anything like that. And don't wait till the last minute, right? You deserve to be happy. So start looking, what else is out there. Start applying to new jobs. Start looking for other living situations. Because you may get to the point where your body is just like, I'm not doing this anymore. And you don't want to wait until that, that severity. The next card coming up here for Gemini is the King of Swords. It's you. It's your beautiful air sign energy. And I love the King of Swords coming up here, because the King of Swords is really great at making decisions, very decisive, and someone who's really good at finding like the win-win solution in a situation. The King of Swords is never going to make decisions out of guilt or out of fear. He's going to do what is the logical thing, and he's not going to feel bad about it. The King of Swords can also indicate seeking out an advisor or an expert in a situation. Okay? Some of you may be seeking out counsel to get out of a delicate situation. Maybe you have assets tied into a situation, and you're trying to figure out how to part ways with a person or situation but still protect your financial interest. Maybe some of you are having stress concerns at work, and you may be seeking out a therapist or a counselor or a life coach to help you navigate it. Or you may be seeking out a lawyer or an attorney to say, hey, like, is this fair? Is this okay? Like, do I have a case here? What I'm being put through, is this illegal? Are they allowed to put me through this? Some of you might be seeking out legal counsel. I am not encouraging for people to go around suing people, but sometimes the King of Swords can be a lawyer or an attorney. Some of you are thinking of ways to disconnect from a situation so that you can start a business or branch out without somebody coming back to you and suing you for you're not allowed to do that because you're going into business as our competitor, and you're not allowed to do that. When you got hired, you signed paperwork that you wouldn't do this, or you don't have this, or they might kind of try to come in and lay a claim or something, right? And so you might be getting some counsel or some advice that, hey, how can I protect my business, or how can I do this without having to worry that they're going to come back and they're going to try to make an issue for me or make legal problems for me. So you may be trying to find ways to separate a business that you're putting out there from a business that you're leaving, or a partnership that you're leaving. The next card that's coming up here for Gemini is the Emperor, and this is a major arcana card. So anytime the major arcana cards come up, they're going to come up at a significant period in our life, a significant new chapter, a significant transition or crossroads that's directly linked to the things we came here to experience and the things that we came here to master, right? So we can't fail as long as we keep moving forward, because it's here what we came here to accomplish, and our angels and guides are going to help us. Now, the Emperor, for me in my readings, sometimes comes up in the sense of building your dynasty or building your empire. So some of you have a really big vision for your future, and you're starting to lay down the plans and making this happen. The Emperor can also be a deceased a father figure, or deceased loved ones from your paternal line, like your father's side of the family, that they may be coming in and bringing you messages in your dreams, and bringing you guidance in how to navigate the steps and the things coming ahead. Okay, so it can definitely be that you're receiving this guidance or this message or these messages from your ancestors on your father's side of the family, or a father or grandfather who has passed on, who's trying to come in and help you navigate this situation. The Emperor card is astrologically associated with Scorpio and Aries. So some of you could have a Scorpio or Aries coming into the situation that might kind of be helping you with planning or giving you advice or guidance on the next steps that you're going to be taking as you are clearing the old energy and building the new, kind of helping you navigate building the new, because you're having such a powerful release. If you have Scorpio or Aries placements, you can expect that there's going to be big, massive changes and shifts and progress in those areas of your life or in those houses. You're getting down to business and you're making things happen in those areas of your life. You may want to check out your moon sign and rising sign videos, because some weeks your moon sign or rising sign may resonate more for you than your sun sign. You may need to get a private reading, which I'm more than happy to do for you. If you go to calendly.com/amethystangelite, you can schedule a private reading with me there. Don't forget to check out the love and romance readings for January, those of you who are interested. Linked in the description, the love videos. Love videos for February will be up soon. You'll see them popping up in the next few days. 2022 12-month forecasts are also linked in the description of this video if you want to check out the forecast for 2022. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. I'm wishing you all a wonderful week ahead. Take care, Gemini. Be well, my dears.